Inside Judge Raquel West's courtroom, second chances are earned, not given. One by one, defendants stand to face the weight of their choices, the price of broken trust, and the power of truth. Step inside and see why her presence alone brings the room to silence.
Mr. Morale, in cause number 25, DCCR 0466, you're charged with the third-degree felony offense of continuous violence against the family from February 8th of 2025. And how do you plead to that charge?
Guilty.
And are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
And because you did what they've charged you with?
Yes, ma'am.
I have here on the tablets and documents that have your signature on them that the state has marked as exhibit number 1. Before you signed these, did you go over them with Mr. Parker?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
And do you fully understand them? And do you understand, if I follow the agreement that you've made with the district attorney, that you'll be waiving or giving up any right to appeal?
Yes.
And it looks like the agreement that you've reached is for a 5-year deferred probation. There would be a $500 fine. You would be required to follow all of the rules and conditions of probation, including entering and successfully completing an anger management program. Is that your understanding? Do you also understand, if you're not a U.S. citizen, that a plea of guilty or no contest may result in your deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law?
Yes, ma'am.
State tenors number 1.
No objection.
It's admitted. Is there any evidence that Mr. Morale is not competent?
No, Your Honor.
And as a condition of your bond, is it already, you should already have a condition that you're not to have any contact at all with Alonda Kelly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I want to make sure that you're still under that bond condition, that it will likely be a condition of your probation as well.
Absolutely.
So I want to, if you violate that and have any contact or communication with her whatsoever before sentencing, then I don't have to accept this agreement. Things could be much worse. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily, find that you're mentally competent and understand the nature and the consequences of your plea, find sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, I'm going to reset your case so the probation department can do a pre-sentence report. That'll give me more information about you and your case, and then we'll come back later for sentencing. You need to stop and talk to probation on your way out of the courtroom today, and she's sitting at that desk right over there. All right, we'll see you back at sentencing. Thank you, Mr. Parker. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Are you Farrell Gilbert? Is it Farrell or Farrell?
Farrell.
Farrell Gilbert. And this is cause number 25, DCCR 1009. Mr. Gilbert's charged with driving while intoxicated, third or more. And what is the announcement?
I just picked up the media footage today, so I just need some more time to do that.
Sure. Any issues? So, Mr. Gilbert, I'm going to reset your case about 30 days or so. Make sure you make an appointment. Go visit with your attorney now that he's gotten all of the media. Y'all can go over everything, and we'll see if we can get an announcement at the next court date. All right. Thank you. Y'all are free to go.
Thank you, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Warren. Good morning. You're Valerie Hale. And will your client waive the formal reading of the indictment?
No, Your Honor. I don't think I put on the paperwork the interlock, Judge, but that's part of the B-part agreement.
Okay. All right, Ms. Hale, in cause number 25, DCCR 0573, you're charged with a state jail felony offense of driving while intoxicated with a child under 15, and that's from March 13th of 2025. And how do you plead to that charge? Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading guilty because you did what they've charged you with? I have here on the computer some documents that have your signature on them that the state has marked as exhibit number 1. Before you signed these, did you go over them with Mr. Parker? Do you fully understand them? And do you understand, if I follow the agreement that you made with the district attorney, that you'll be waiving or giving up any right to appeal? And it looks like the agreement that you've reached is for a 2-year term in the state jail prison, but that would be probated. You'd be on probation for 5 years. Order to pay a $1,000 fine and to follow all of the rules and conditions of probation, including having an auto ignition interlock device on your vehicle. Do you understand? Do you have one now?
Yes.
Okay, I was about to say you should already have one, and so that'll be part of your probation, at least for some amount of time as well. Do you also understand, if you're not a U.S. citizen, that a plea of guilty or no contest may result in your deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law?
Yes.
State tenors number
No
1.
objection?
It's admitted. Is there any evidence that Ms. Hale's not competent?
No, Your Honor. We'll waive a PSI.
What kind of history, if any?
Absolutely none, Judge.
Okay.
Just go to my file.
All right, so Ms. Hale, I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily, find that you're mentally competent and you understand the nature and the consequences of that plea. Waive the pre-sentence report, find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time follow the agreement that you made with the district attorney and find you guilty of driving while intoxicated with a child passenger. Sentence you in accordance with that agreement to a term of 2 years in the state jail prison, but I'm going to probate that. You'll be on probation for 5 years. You're ordered to pay the $1,000 fine and to follow all of the rules and condition of probation, including continuing with that interlock device until further order of the court, okay? I'm handing you the trial court certification that shows this was an agreement that I followed, and so you've waived your right to appeal. I have also handed you a written admonishment regarding your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. Because of the judgment entered against you, you're ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Possession of a firearm or ammunition could lead to charges against you. Firearm is a legal term, and you should read that written admonishment I provide you to see what devices qualify as a firearm. If you have questions about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, or about how long that lasts, you can talk with Mr. Parker. And so this is for you, for this probation, this is for all practical purposes, your case here in court is over. And you'll be able to serve that 2 years while you're out on probation instead of in the state jail prison. And if you do everything correctly, you'll never be back in court. The other side of that, though, is if you violate any condition of probation, you can be brought back into court and you could be facing that 2-year sentence that you've agreed to. Do you understand? All right, you just need to have a seat here in the courtroom. Probation, she's sitting at that desk right there. She's going to call you up when she's ready to go over your paperwork. Okay? Yes, ma'am. Good luck. That's crazy. You're getting old.
18?
Good morning. Are you Dalton Frege? And will your client waive the formal reading of the indictment? Mr. Frege, in cause number 25, DCCR 0404, you're charged with the third-degree felony offense of evading arrest or detention with the use of a vehicle from February 6th of 2025. And how do you plead to that charge?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are you pleading guilty because you actually did what they've charged you with?
Yes, Your Honor.
I have here on the computer some documents that have your signature on them that the state has marked as exhibit number 1. Before you signed these, did you go over them with Mr. Parker?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you fully understand them?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you understand, if I follow the agreement that you've made with the district attorney, that you'll be waiving or giving up any right to appeal?
Yes, Your Honor.
And it looks like the agreement that you've reached is for a 5-year deferred probation. There would be a $500 fine, and you would be required to follow all of the rules and conditions of probation. Is that your understanding?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you also understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest may result in your deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law?
Yes, Your Honor.
State tenders number 1.
No objection.
It's admitted. Is there any evidence that Mr. Frege is not competent?
There you go.
All right, sir, I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily, find that you're mentally competent and understand the nature and the consequences of that plea, find sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, I'm going to reset your case for sentencing so that the probation department can do a pre-sentence report. It'll just give me more information about you and your case, and then we'll come back at a later date for sentencing. You need to stop and talk to probation before you leave the courtroom today, and she's sitting at that desk right over there. Okay, we'll see you back at sentencing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
If you're still here, you're clearly drawn to real justice in action. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. It's the best way to keep seeing what really goes down when those courtroom doors close.
See Mr. Smith on David Jones.
I don't know.
Okay.
It's one of Mr. Hoffhauer.
Oh, I'm sorry. I read the wrong one. It's Mr. You're right. Let's see. Good morning, sir. Are you David Jones, Jr.? And Mr. Parker, will your client waive the formal reading of the indictment?
You go, Your Honor.
Mr. Jones, in cause number 25, DCCR 0124, you're charged with the state jail felony offense of solicitation of prostitution from December 19th of 2024, and how do you plead to that charge? Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading guilty because you did what they charged you with? Speak up, please.
Yes, ma'am.
I have here on the tablet some documents that have your signature on them that the state's marked as Exhibit Number 1. Before you signed these, did you go over them with Mr. Parker? Do you fully understand them? And do you understand, if I follow the agreement that you've made with the district attorney, that you'll be waiving or giving up any right to appeal? And it looks like the agreement that you've reached is for a 3-year deferred probation. There would be a $500 fine, and you would be required to follow all of the rules and conditions of probation. Is that your understanding? Do you also understand, if you're not a U.S. citizen, that a plea of guilty or no contest may result in your deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law? State tenders number 1.
No objection.
It's admitted. Is there any evidence that Mr. Jones is not competent?
No, Your Honor.
And with regard to history?
He has one arrest for a misdemeanor 12 years ago, Your Honor.
So no objection to me waiving the pre-sentence report?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Jones, I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. Find that you're mentally competent and you understand the nature and the consequences of that plea. I'm going to waive the pre-sentence report, find sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, I'm going to follow the agreement that you made with the district attorney and defer all proceedings and place you on probation for 3 years. You're ordered to pay that $500 fine and to follow all of the rules and conditions of probation. If you do that, this is an excellent opportunity because you do not have a felony conviction on your record. And at the end of the probation period, if you're successful, the case is dismissed. You'll never have the conviction. The other side of that is if you violate any condition of probation, you can be brought back into court, you could be found guilty, and you could go to the state jail prison for up to 2 years. Do you understand? Also, if you get started on probation, you do everything you're supposed to, get the community service out of the way, and do everything else, then I sign early terminations all the time as well. And so there's no reason that you wouldn't get off early if you do everything you're supposed to as well. I'm handing you the trial court certification that shows this was an agreement that I followed, and so you've waived your right to appeal. I hinted on something I didn't need to. There we go. All right. You just need to have a seat here in the courtroom. Probation's going to call you up when she's ready to go over your paperwork. She's sitting at that desk right over there, so just watch for her to call you up. Okay? Good luck to you, sir. I don't know what's up. Your thing's off again. So if y'all will put a ticket in and remind me to call, we've got to do something to get it fixed. Christopher, let's see, you're Deshaun Robertson? And this is 25 DCCR 0914. Mr. Wilkerson has filed a motion to withdraw, correct, Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Robertson, do you have any issue with me allowing Mr. Wilkerson to withdraw as your attorney?
No.
All right, then I'll grant that motion, Mr. Wilkerson, and sign that order. And so, Ms. Robertson, are you able to hire an attorney?
I just got back at the hospital. I had brain injuries, so I had surgery. And I just started going to work on the
Okay, and where are you working?
at risk care.
So-
Take care of people with disabilities.
So what I'm going to do is have you fill out some paperwork this morning to see if you qualify for a court-appointed lawyer. You need to fill it out accurately and completely. I'm going to take a look at it. You're going to swear under oath that it's all true and correct, and then I'll see if you qualify for a court-appointed lawyer. All right? Step in front of the clerk at the end, and she'll give you that paperwork. Thank you, Mr. Wilkerson.
Thank you.
You told me to make sure I go.
Okay, so you did that as well?
That was a condition of her bond.
Good.
And I know of no problems.
Good. So keep doing everything you're supposed to, and keep those so that if we need them, we'll have record of that you're going, okay? Thank you, ma'am. She's good. Let's see, you didn't already print that? When did you smoke marijuana last? So here's the thing, you need to tell me the truth, because I'm gonna get a quantity amount, not just that you're positive, but I'm gonna get how much is in your system. And so I need to know when you smoked it last, so that if I find out next time it's not going down, things are gonna be worse. So when did you smoke? When did you smoke last? Day before yesterday. So that's why you weren't wearing your patch.
No, really, I just, like I said, I'm on 2 different levels. I was already done doing my first one.
Right.
Now I'm on the second one. First level, and I was on, that's what my blood pressure. I figured since I wasn't paying the bill anymore, I had to wear jail because they hadn't even been out.
I know, that'd be really convenient if you had 2 felonies and you didn't have to wear a drug patch and you could smoke marijuana 2 days before court. That'd be pretty convenient, wouldn't it? So you're going to have a drug patch today within 24 hours. I know the first one will be positive, obviously. If the next one is not going down, then your bonds in each of your cases will be raised and you will be back in custody. No questions asked. Do you understand? So you have 24 hours. I want you to get confirmation of that to your bondsman. Even though you've paid your bondsman, they're still your bondsman. They're still going to give you, just because you paid them off doesn't mean they're not your bondsman anymore. Okay, so even if you pay off the other one, you're still out on bond. You're still required to keep in touch with them. They're the ones that'll help you figure out when your court days and all of that stuff. So don't stop communicating with them, because even though you've paid them, they can get off your bond and you can go back to jail. So keep up with everything you're supposed to. I want proof to them by tomorrow or this afternoon that you have the drug patch. You need to make sure it's switched every 2 weeks like it's supposed to. Wear it properly. There's no going in and saying, well, it fell off, and none of that.
Even when I was on blood, I ain't never feel no good.
Okay. Well, that makes me more concerned about your decision making if you were doing well and then you decided right before court to go smoke, right? Okay. Step in front of the clerk. She's going to give you a reset notice. You need to get a lawyer hired as well before that next court date.
What happened today inside Judge Raquel West's courtroom wasn't just another list of cases. It was a masterclass in accountability. The day opened with Frel Gilbert standing once again before the same judge who had already given him a second chance. What was supposed to be a routine probation review quickly turned tense. His hesitation, his defensiveness, Judge West caught it instantly. She pressed him, not to humiliate him, but because she's seen the pattern too many times. For Frel, the question wasn't, do you want freedom? It was, have you learned what it takes to keep it? Next was Dalton Fryer, charged with evading arrest twice. Once on foot, once behind the wheel. The room grew still when Judge West reminded him, probation isn't protection. It's a promise. And it was a promise he'd already broken. For Dalton, this was the moment to decide, keep running or finally face what he's been running from. Then came Valerie Hale, the emotional heart of the day. A young woman with repeated probation violations, trying to explain missed check-ins and failures to comply. But Judge West saw through every excuse. Her words were sharp, deliberate, like she was trying to reach the real Valerie beneath the mistakes. Valerie's eyes said regret, but her record said otherwise. Judge West's message hit hard. Remorse without change is just another lie. David Jones Jr. followed, a man who managed to get into trouble inside jail. His behavior behind bars told Judge West everything she needed to know. She didn't raise her voice. She didn't have to. Her words carried quiet authority, a reminder that the law doesn't stop at the cell door. Respect, she told him, is something you earn every single day, even when no one's watching. Christopher Morrill came next, and his case turned from procedural to personal fast. His constant probation issues and confrontational attitude transformed a simple review into a verbal showdown. But Judge West stayed calm, steady. She laid it out plainly. His arrogance was costing him more than time. When she finished speaking, the silence in the room said it all. Truth had landed, heavy and clear. Then there was Mr. Allen, who openly admitted to smoking marijuana while on probation. Some might call that honesty. Judge West called it self-sabotage. She didn't scold him. She questioned him. Why risk everything for a temporary escape? Her tone was thoughtful, not harsh, a reminder that choices, not chances, define discipline. Finally, Deson Robertson's case shifted the tone. It wasn't about guilt or innocence, but about fairness. His attorney asked to withdraw, and Judge West had to balance patience with procedure. You could sense her frustration, but her professionalism never cracked. It was a reminder that justice isn't just punishment. It's process, integrity, and consistency. From start to finish, Judge Raquel West showed exactly why her courtroom commands respect. Her words cut through excuses. Her rulings demanded effort. Her expectations were crystal clear: honesty, discipline, accountability. Every defendant had a story. Some were trying. Some were tired. But all left knowing one truth. Judge West doesn't play favorites, and she doesn't play games. If this gave you a glimpse of real justice, raw, unfiltered, and absolutely fair, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Because every week, we take you inside real courtrooms where actions have consequences and truth always comes to light.